You are listening to the Afro Tales, stories that shape the soul. I am Kemi Iwalesi. And this one begins with a marriage everyone envied. They said I was lucky to marry Obinna, that he was every woman's dream. And maybe he was, until he stopped looking at me like I was enough. Until the late nights began. Until the laughter I once shared with him found a new home in my sister's smile. This is how love unraveled right in front of me while I stood there watching. Before Obinna, I was light, laughter, dreams that stretched beyond the horizon. I danced with my baby sister Chioma in our mother's kitchen. We shared secrets over bowls of okra soup. When Obinna came, he didn't just ask for my hand, he asked for my future. And I said yes with my whole heart. He was handsome that day, radiant, proud. Chioma stood beside me as my maid of honor, adjusting my veil with tears in her eyes. The world said, "You are blessed, Amara." I believed them. In the early months, he was gentle, always opening doors, always touching my back as we walked. I memorized his laugh, the warmth of his hand in mine. I thought this was how love stayed, steady and sure. I didn't know seasons would change without warning. The change began small. He forgot to tell me about a family meeting, but Chioma knew. He laughed less. His eyes wandered more. I told myself, marriage has seasons. This is just winter. But winter stayed. When Chioma finished NYSC, I welcomed her home with open arms. She was still my baby sister, bright, full of life. But her laughter filled our house in ways mine no longer could. Obinna noticed. And for the first time in months, he started smiling again. Obinna began offering her rides, bringing her shawarma, sitting to watch movies with her while I cleared the kitchen. On my birthday, he forgot. The next day, he bought her concert tickets. I smiled through it. I told myself I was overthinking. One afternoon in the market, Mama Oge from church leaned in and whispered, "Amara, watch your home. Men are not as blind as they pretend." I laughed it off, but her words clung to me like smoke. The glances between them began to last too long. His tone with her was light, playful. With me it was heavy, tired. At night I lay awake, listening to them laugh in the sitting room while I stared at the ceiling. When my mother-in-law came, she greeted Chioma first. "Ha! This one knows how to keep a man happy," she said. Then she looked at me. "Learn from your sister." I smiled, served her food, swallowed my shame. One night, as I washed plates, the tap water blurred into my tears. My body was present, but my spirit was disappearing. I wanted to scream. Instead, I scrubbed harder. Because in my house, silence was safer than the truth. It was laundry day when I found it. A hotel receipt in his jeans. Folded inside was a napkin with Chioma's name scrawled in his handwriting. Her perfume clung to the fabric like a confession. The room tilted. My knees weakened. My heart stopped. That night, I served dinner. They laughed about something only they knew. The food on my plate was untouched. It felt like I was feeding two strangers who shared my address. I asked her softly, "Chioma, are you with him?" She didn't blink. She smiled. "He was never yours. You were just the one he settled for." Her words didn't just pierce me. They hollowed me out. When I turned to him, he didn't deny it. He didn't apologize. "Love is complicated," he said. "Try to understand." Understand? That I was an option, not a choice? That night my mother called. I almost told her. Almost. But I said instead, "We are fine, Mama." Because how do you tell your mother that her daughters are sharing a man? I kept living there, cooking for them, folding their laundry, breathing in their betrayal every day. I became a shadow, a ghost serving two bodies and one sin. At a wedding, Obinna walked in with Chioma, his hand on her waist, his laughter ringing loud. People stared. Whispers spread like wildfire. I sat at the back table, invisible, my cup shaking in my hand. Auntie Lizzie found me crying on the bathroom floor. She held my chin and said, "You are not unlovable, Amara. You've just been dimmed by the wrong light." Her words cracked something open in me. That night, Obinna asked me to iron his clothes. I looked at him and said no. He laughed, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. It was my first step toward resurrection. I began saving money secretly, writing in my journal, seeing a therapist. Each small act was a brick in the bridge back to myself. I didn't shout. I didn't fight. I just prepared. It was a quiet Saturday morning. One small bag, one note. "This house buried me. I'm choosing resurrection." I didn't slam the door. I didn't cry. I just walked out. Heart pounding, feet steady. They stayed in the house like nothing had happened. But soon, gossip spread. Friends stopped visiting. Their laughter became rare. Their whispers sharp. Chioma started checking Obinna's phone, doubting every smile. What began with stolen glances now rotted into stolen peace. Obinna walked through the neighborhood and felt the stares. They didn't see a man in love. They saw a man who betrayed blood. Meanwhile, I was in a small cafe when something made me laugh. A real deep belly laugh. I startled myself. It had been years. I launched a support center for women who stayed too long in places that broke them. I met survivors, fighters, and dreamers. Together, we stitched ourselves whole again. One morning, I looked in the mirror and whispered, "I love this woman." And for the first time in years, I meant it. At the bank, I saw him, Obinna. He froze, eyes scanning my face like it was a language he once knew but forgot. "You look different," he whispered. I smiled, loved, and walked away. I wasn't unlovable. I was simply with people who didn't know how to love me. And I stayed because I thought love meant endurance. But love without dignity is not love. It's bondage. When your heart breaks, let it break wide enough to let yourself in. Let it be the door, not the end. Because the greatest love story you will ever live is the one you finally write for yourself.
Welcome to Afro Tales, where every story leaves a mark on your soul. Please subscribe, comment, and share this video with a friend.